Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and welcome back to the channel. We are talking waiver wire ads for week 4 of the NFL. A lot of things happened over the weekend, some injuries obviously that are some big things that have occurred, and of course, there's always players that start to shine in great matchups, so let's jump right into it. So we are talking week 4 of the NFL. We've got some great games coming up. And with that said, we are talking waivers. These are some players that I believe you should either be streaming, adding to your roster, or maybe, again, a lot of injuries have occurred to your roster and you've got to fill in those needs. So let's jump right into the quarterback position as the first position to talk about. I've got 3 quarterbacks here that I feel you should consider adding. And then this is all based off of availability. This format's based off of Yahoo. You can obviously look at Sleeper and different things like that, but based off of availability, these are guys that I think you should add. First one's going to be Geno Smith. He's available in 72% of leagues. He has done an amazing job of some up and down games, but he had a great game in week 3 of the NFL. He actually finished QB4 last week. He had over 280 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and a lot of it was garbage time. Let's just give it, it is what it is, but it's in fantasy, so it doesn't matter what happened. He was able to put up some great points. Plus, on top of that, he's got a great matchup in week 4 against the Bears, who are struggling as far as a defensive unit. So again, Geno Smith is a really good one. I really like the schedule he's got also going forward, because again, a lot of people don't necessarily think about those things. Like, what does that look like? You obviously got to start looking at scheduling going forward as well when it comes to playoffs. And then before you know it, we are talking bye week, so that is going to be here before anybody is really ready for it. But I really like this matchup for Geno Smith. Another quarterback I really like that, again, is available. He's in 81% of leagues, is Sam Darnold. Sam has had a really quiet season, but he's starting to step up and done a really good job. And if you look at the matchups Sam Darnold has, again, coming into this week, he had a 20-point game. He had a 21-point game in week 2. He's got the Arizona Cardinals, then the Bucks, then the Jaguars. Some really good matchups going forward. And Sam Darnold's kind of getting into his own. Week 1, he struggled, but I think he's starting to develop. Good matchups are coming forward. Now, I will say this. After his bye week, he's got really tough matchups. I'm not saying you're going to hang on to him all season, but if you're looking to stream a quarterback, or you've got some injuries that have happened to your team, he's got a nice 3 to 4 slate games that I think could actually have some success for you. And again, he's available in 81% of leagues. The last quarterback I'm going to mention is going to be Matthew Stafford. Surprisingly, he is available out there. I'm not sure why he is. I think maybe because people aren't sure. But realistically, 18-point game against the Eagles, right? He had 2 touchdowns. Yes, he threw an interception. Week 2, 2 touchdowns. Yes, he threw an interception. But he's done a really good job. And again, those receivers in Puka Nacua and Devonta Adams are absolutely huge. Then you got the Colts this week, who have actually played really, really well. Got to give them credit. The Colts have done a really good job. Then the 49ers, who just lost Nick Bosa. So that defense is going to be affected. But then you got Baltimore, Jacksonville, and then the Saints. Really good matchup. So again, Matthew Stafford is another really solid quarterback you could pick up on your roster to have some success going forward. Now at the running back position, the only player I really wanted to mention on here, and he's an absolute must add, is Trey Benson. He's available in 49% of leagues, and with the unfortunate event that happened to James Conner, who is absolutely an awesome running back, but has dealt with an injury that is now putting him out for the season, Benson steps into a really solid role. Now, he already was putting about 8 to 9 points in fantasy, and that was as a change of pace back, the reception back, but he's actually averaged over 6 yards a carry so far this season. Really good upside. Matchups aren't great, don't get me wrong. I'd like to see a little bit more out of the Arizona offense, but if you're desperate for a running back, or just in general want to pick up this guy to help prevent your league mates from getting him, totally makes sense. Get yourself some Trey Benson. Again, 49% of leagues have him available on waivers. He is a must add this week. He's probably the number 1 player. Now, jumping into the wide receiver position, I've got a few players here. The last player I'm going to mention is probably my favorite one to pick up, but the first one I'm going to mention is Tyquan Thornton for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's had 2 back-to-back games and a touchdown. And realistically, because of obviously everything that's going on with Rashee Rice, obviously still being out, Xavier Worthy, we're not really sure what's going on. The options are very limited when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs offense. Like, we thought it was going to be Hollywood Brown. I thought it was going to be Hollywood Brown. He has not really stepped up at all. And so with that said, Tyquan Thornton is a nice little option. He's available in a decent amount of leagues, 97%. But he's had 2 touchdowns, like I said, in 2 weeks. He's got a great matchup against Baltimore, the Jags, the Detroit Lions, the Vegas Raiders. Like, all of those teams allow wide receivers to have great opportunities. And last week, Tyquan had 9 targets. The week before that was 5. I could see him around that 7 to 8 target range based off of, again, the matchup. And especially with them going against Baltimore, they're going to be throwing the ball quite a bit. So I really like Tyquan Thornton as a nice little option to pick up. Next running back or wide receiver I want to mention is going to be Jalen Tolbert. Now, he's not a must-add. He's probably going to be more for deeper leagues. But with the news of CeeDee Lamb being out, possibly 3 to 4 weeks. We'll see how much, if it's going to be longer. But with that high ankle sprain, CeeDee Lamb is out, which means it's George Pickens, Kevontae Turpin, and Jalen Tolbert. And I will say Jalen Tolbert is probably the one that's probably going to benefit the most. George Pickens, he's not available. Let's just be honest. He might be. I'd be shocked, but he's not available, which means Jalen Tolbert is probably going to be the guy who's going to get that second option behind him. Because if you look at what happened to the injury with CeeDee Lamb, Tolbert actually got more targets than Kevontae Turpin. Turpin is a great option, maybe in deeper leagues because of his special teams ability. Obviously, he's that guy who they use, wide receiver end rounds. They use him as a running back sometimes. They definitely move him around, but Tolbert's probably a more pure wide receiver. And if you're in a deep league, you're desperate at the wide receiver position, Tolbert's probably someone available because he is available in 100% of the league. So again, just an option out there. Now, Rashod Bateman, I like here too. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Baltimore Ravens offense, but the matchups they're coming up against, they may be forced to throw a little bit more than they'd like to see, right? They had to do it against the Detroit Lions, and Bateman took advantage of that. He had a really good game and outshined Zay Flowers, who only put up 2 receptions in that game. Did not play well at all. Now, Bateman, again, is more for a deeper league. 68% available. He has the upside to have some really good games. Again, they love what he's able to do. He's a great option. I'm not saying he's going to be consistent every single week. He might be, again, matchup based, but again, I really like what he's able to do. He had a really great season last season, and I think it could always show up in these games, but again, he's more of a deeper league. Another wide receiver is Quentin Johnston. I mentioned him only because he's still available in 31% of leagues. Give credit. I probably, like others, didn't think Quentin Johnston was going to be as consistent as he has been. Like last season, he was always that wide receiver that really shined when it came to, a game or two. Like he had one amazing game, then duds for 3 games, and then another amazing game. But let's look at what it does. First week, 25 points. Second week, 14 points or 15 points. Third week, 14 points. He is getting targeted heavily. And you look at this offense, it is running through Quentin Johnston and Keenan Allen, not Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey is kind of the odd man out in this one. And realistically, I hate to say it, but ever since Keenan Allen came back, Ladd McConkey is the odd man out because where he shined was in the slot. Keenan Allen is a great slot receiver. And that rapport between him and Herbert is absolutely there. And what the shocker has been is Quentin Johnston. He was the one I think a lot of people were surprised with. And that's not even mentioning the rookie wide receiver, Trey Harris, where everyone thought he was going to be great and a great add-on. But right now, Quentin Johnston's the guy, and he's completely being overlooked, and he's got a great matchup against the Giants. So, again, he's somebody you absolutely want to add to your roster. And I hate to say it, but he's in the top 10. Right now, he is wide receiver. I think he's 7 right now? Wide receiver 7? That is amazing work for him. So again, really good option. And the last player as far as the wide receiver position is Jordan Addison. He's likely unavailable, but there are 30% of leagues who still have him out there. He is back from suspension, which means he is eligible to play this Sunday. Now, obviously, we're not sure how it's going to play out, right? You got Carson Wentz still at quarterback. Did well. You got Justin Jefferson there. I think it's actually going to benefit him a lot because now you got a receiver like Jordan Addison there. Jordan Addison, I would say maybe you want to wait and see. But if you're able to, I'd grab him because who knows, he may end up actually helping you out throughout the rest of the season. Now, jumping to the next position, I've got a tight end here who I like is Brenton Strange for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's available in 75% of leagues. Tight end position out there in waivers is very, very thin. And if you're needing to stream a tight end, whether it be an injury or maybe just matchups, he might be someone you may want to consider. He had a really good game last week. He had plenty of targets. And again, the matchup is a little bit wonky, but not a bad one. I actually don't mind this matchup for him. But I really like obviously the options out there as far as Brenton Strange, he's probably the only good one if you need a tight end. And jumping to the kicker position. Now, as far as kickers go, I've got Spencer Shrader and I got Joey Slye. Both are available in about 70+%. Really good options. Both kickers have done amazing. And if you actually look at the performance out of the kickers, Schrader's the number one kicker right now in fantasy. He has been putting up left and right 11 plus points. He had 16 week 1, 18, then 11. And then who's right behind him? Joey Slye. Again, only slightly. Both of these kickers are available in most leagues. So the fact that they're available, you want to try to grab one of those guys because, again, going forward, I think both offenses are going to do just enough to get down the field, get some points here or there, especially the Tennessee Titans, who I think are going to get in better position and get better throughout the season. But Joey Slye is available to take advantage of those opportunities where those offenses kind of die down. So both those kickers are available in most leagues. Go and grab them. And then the defensive position, special teams. If you have a league like that, I've got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who've actually done a pretty good job. And again, if you look at their matchup, Jacksonville right now is number 2 in fantasy at 31 points, and that's only behind the Minnesota Vikings, who put up a monster game last week. Again, Jacksonville Jaguars have done a pretty good job. It's not always about the team that allows the least amount of yards. It's actually with the turnovers, the sacks, the interceptions, all that stuff. And if you look at the interceptions, Jacksonville is leading the league in interceptions so far with 7. So again, they're creating turnovers. And their matchup is against the 49ers, who are dealing with a lot of injuries. You've got receiver issues. You got Mac Jones now in there. There's a lot going on. So again, really good matchup for Jacksonville. They're a great defense to pick up. And the last defense I want to mention is going to be the Houston Texans. They have not been as good as I would like to see, but I like their matchup coming up. They've got the Tennessee Titans, and again, the Titans are still kind of figuring themselves out with Cam Ward and their offense, but I like Houston. They've always been a good defense. They just have not been creating the turnovers that you'd like to see. Again, they're getting the sacks. I think right now they're like 4th or 5th in the league in sacks, so they are getting after the quarterback, but again, if you're just streaming defensive teams, this is a good option for you this week. So those are my week 4 NFL waiver wire pickups for your fantasy options. Again, if you guys have questions, hit me up in the comments down below. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit that like button. Stay tuned because we'll be getting your start and sit videos for the rest of this week, breaking down each matchup to help you guys out. And if you guys have any dynasty questions, hit me down below in the comments. I'd love to help you out. So again, subscribe and like, and I'll check you guys out next time.